Costco could be an absolute money pit, or it could be one of the keys for you taking care of your family and still getting out of debt. I want to give you the Dave Ramsey approved plan for how to shop Costco to get the absolute most for your money. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Craig, and we as a family are working to get out of debt. We are working both my wife and I are working full-time jobs to help us get out of debt. And so obviously we don't want to be spending money on wasteful things. And so have done a really good job of trying to audit everything. We're not perfect, but I want to show you the basics of how to shop at Costco. This is for a family of 5. This should last us about 2 weeks if we use it with the pieces that we already have here at the house. Okay, so first with the fruits and veggies, got a big bag of potatoes. Again, remember, almost always the general rule you're going to see is lesser processed is going to be the cheaper, better deal. So we got a bag of potatoes, we got a bag of onions. We got peppers. We cut these up both for the kids' lunches as well as cooking them into suppers and meals. Avocados were cheap today. They were less than $1 an avocado, and so we like that as kind of just a nice another way. Sometimes my wife will do that. Sometimes we'll do it for meals that go along with us. Watermelons are still hanging in there as worthwhile for us. $6 for a watermelon, and we knocked on it, make sure it sounded good. Blueberries was the other good deal that we have. You got to remember, you can't always go into Costco saying, I'm going to buy this. You have to go into Costco saying, I'm going to find out what's on sale that I like, that fits with what I'm trying to do. We also got tomatoes, and we did that, and then cucumbers. Cucumbers were a little bit expensive, but we needed something else to go with carrots and peppers for kids' school lunches, and so cucumbers are probably the winner there. We got sour cream. We use the sour cream not just as like putting on a potato, but also to make dips and to mix in with other things as well as to go with other meals. And so again, this package here is like cheaper than like the smaller size package at Publix a lot of times. So we got that. My wife likes bringing yogurt with her to school for her lunch. And then when you're thinking about packing snacks in the kids' bags, don't get suckered into buying all those little small bags. They're really fun and convenient, but they're not the most economical way. So we just got like this big bag of the Kirkland trail mix, and then we'll just bag it up ourselves. And we actually get like some reusable cups sometimes that we use, put it in there. Kids can have trail mix every single day, and it's going to be way cheaper than buying the individual bags. Sometimes we make our own bread, but just because it's the first week of school, we just bought a couple of loaves of bread for sandwiches, and then we're going to get into what goes on the sandwiches. We've got 2 different types of cheeses. Again, way cheaper buying it by the block, not pre-sliced. Slice it yourself. We actually have a slicer that helps with us with kind of making sure that we get maximum value out of this. But we got 2 blocks of mozzarella. One will be for snacking. One will be for like our weekend Friday pizza. Then we got 1 block of sharp cheddar. We also got Parmesan, again, in the block, not pre-shredded, because we want to, again, be maximizing how we spend our money on this. And then we got this turkey breast, okay, and then we got the ham. And we found the smallest ones there because we don't need that much, but we're going to slice those up again with the meat slicer, get them nice and thin, whatever level we want. And the ham can be used for breakfast, lunches. The turkey, sometimes we'll use it for lunches. On sandwiches, we'll also sometimes cut it a little bit thicker, use it for supper, kind of do mashed potatoes, gravy, turkey, that sort of thing. We did get a couple of little things to replenish the stockpile. We got this Kinder's Honey Hot Barbecue Sauce. It's definitely our favorite barbecue sauce. And again, we'll get this. This will last for months. We don't use it all the time, but it's nice to have. And then we also needed garlic powder. So again, or it's not granulated garlic, sorry, not garlic powder, granulated garlic. And so we got that. And again, that's going to last us for a really long time. And it's way cheaper for the amount that we use to get it in the bulk and then let that work for a while. We also got a big thing of ground beef. This is like almost 9 pounds of ground beef. This was probably one of the more expensive things that we got, but this is lots and lots of meals that we're going to get out of it. Of course, we're going to freeze it. We're not going to just eat through this in one day or anything like that. This is 2, maybe even more than 2 weeks worth, because we don't do beef every single night, but we're going to have that. And of course, you cannot go wrong. The best deal at Costco, if you're trying to feed a family, is by far the chickens. And remember, don't just get the chickens just for the chicken and then like eat it one day and then let it rot away in your fridge. That's not how you're going to do this. You're going to, take it. We'll make sandwiches out of it. Sometimes we'll eat it as the meal or whatever. But then we'll also get all the meat off of it. We'll cook down the bones. We'll make broth out of it as well. So we don't ever have to buy chicken stock or chicken broth because we just make it all the time. And so by taking these things and making it all work together, we want to season chicken broth. What are we going to use? We're going to use the garlic. We're going to use some of the onions, so everything we have here is designed to work together to maximize. And we also bought things that work with the things that are already over in our pantry, things that are in the fridge, things that are in the freezer. So we're going to make all this work together to maximize our savings, minimize our food waste at all costs, and yet still make sure that we're eating a relatively balanced diet. Now, would I love to have healthier options and organic and all those things? Yeah, absolutely I would, but that's a luxury that we can't afford right now. But the best way to get there is to minimize our food costs now. And there are ways to do this where you're not just buying a bunch of junk food. You can still get stuff that is relatively healthy. I mean, look at this. You can make arguments that certain things are like a little extra excessive, but it's fruits, it's veggies, it's meat, it's cheese, right? Very few processed carbs except for the bread. And again, a lot of times we would make the bread if we have the time to do that. And so that's the key, is find pieces that are going to work together, that are going to work for multiple meals, that you can turn into wraps, you can turn into sandwiches, you can turn into lunch, you can turn into supper, you can turn into breakfast, not just single-use things that you pay extra for because they prepped it for you. Do your own prep work because you have the time. If you're in debt, you have the time to get out. I think I missed bananas back here too. Anyway, you get the point. So all this whole thing, which is at least 2 weeks worth of food, maybe a little bit more, it was $225. That's what we paid for all this from Costco. And $225 here, I can even show you the receipt. $225.76. So that's everything that we just got at Costco. $225 for 2 weeks of food for a family of 5. And again, this partners with stuff we already had on hand, but you don't have to break the bank to have good, healthy, fulfilling breakfast, lunches, and suppers, and not going out to eat, not doing any of those things. So if you're working to get out of debt, there is a way to make it work with Costco. Don't get suckered into all the fun stuff. Enjoy those with the free samples when you're at Costco, but instead take it and figure out what are the pieces that are going to work for you as an individual that you can transform into multiple dishes, multiple meals that will work with you. Don't go out to eat. Use that money wisely and buy in bulk wisely that are going to work for you. Let me know what you love doing, what things you think are the best deals that you get at Costco to save money for your family down in the comments below.